What's up, crew? It is Chris with CloverTac, and welcome back to the channel. You may recall that a few weeks ago we had the guys from Endosnake on the podcast. Well, turns out they have sent us a sample of their Endosnake Borescope. Today, we're going to go to the bench and check that out. All right, here we are on the bench, and before we get started, I'm going to tell you now that I'm going to end up interchanging the words borescope and boresnake, endoscope and endosnake. It's probably going to happen. I'll try to pay attention as much as I can, but just know that those words are going to be kind of interchangeable here. And we're going to take a quick look at the Endosnake, which is a borescope. A very economically priced borescope compared to a lot of them that are out there, and a lot better than the cheap scopes that you see. So comes in a nice zippered pouch. We'll get into the second poucher case in a minute. And here's what you're going to get. You're going to get the borescope unit itself, the Endosnake unit. It's 3 foot long, so you can see plenty of length there. This little contraption is the control body. So you would push this to snap a picture. This little thing here is going to control the light, and we'll take a look at that in a minute because it is lighted. If you get just the base package, you're going to be able to hook this thing up through USB, through the Type-C connector, or I believe this is a micro USB right here. It is. One thing to keep in mind, and we'll talk about that here in a second, if you've got a iPhone or a newer phone, gonna need another accessory for this. But for my purposes, I mostly use it through the PC with the USB. Now, what makes this scope different than a lot of the cheap ones that you see out there on Amazon? And I was looking on Amazon, looking various places, trying to find one because I had some issues. Actually, had some issues with a Walther PPQ-22, it being 22 caliber bore. I did some homework, and most of the cheap borescopes that I found were 5 or 5.5 millimeter in diameter on the end. What's unique and awesome about Endosnake, it's 3.9 millimeter, so it works great for 22 caliber stuff. If you're plugging this into your phone, your tablet, your computer, or whatever, you are going to need some type of an app. You can get on endosnake.com. and it'll help you out with that. Also, it references some of those in the instructions. I use an app called Bandicam, and I'll put some on-screen footage up here in just a second. But let's set this to the side. Let's look at the second little pouch here, the little case, called the pouch case, whatever. And in here is the Wi-Fi box. This is additional, and you can get a package deal with Endosnake that comes with a lot of different things, but this is a separate component. You can see it's got a USB cable that it comes with. It is battery powered. If we turn it on over and hit the button, I don't know if you can see those lights or not, but it is USB charged and battery powered. And this is what you're going to use if you've got a newer Android, or if you run an iPhone, you're going to need this in order to run it off of those mobile devices. But for today's purposes, we are going to be hooking it up to a PC, and then I'll just lace in the B-roll over the top of what we're looking at here. So we're going to set that to the side. We're going to get the boresnake out here. See, I said boresnake. The Endosnake, the borescope out. I'm going to set that to the side as well. And we're going to get this sucker plugged up and take a look at what it does. So I have it plugged up to the PC now, and I'm going to adjust the light here, and you should see it get brighter. There it goes. So adjusting the light, and sadly the little adjustment box is closer to the computer over here, so I can't show it on screen, but I'm just rolling that little dial I showed you earlier. And as far as the footage that it takes, I'll lace in some B-roll here, but of me just kind of looking around here on the bench. But you can see how it works fairly well just looking around on the bench. Now the test is going to be to put it through a bore and check it out. So let's go with the 22 first. We don't need the magazine. Obviously, we're going to check clear because we're going to be running something through the bore and we want to be safe. So here we go. I'm going to start threading this thing through. And again, I will put some B-roll out so that you guys can kind of see what I see as I'm running this thing through there. So get it into the bore like so. And once you get it in the bore, you can adjust that light on it, depending on how bright you want it. And so we brighten it up just a little bit, and we can go down the bore, and you can see we've definitely got some some powder, some lead deposits, some other things going on there. For the resolution anyway, it's got pretty decent resolution at 720p, but for the best resolution, I mean, you really need some light. So what if you need to check out some other things? What if you need to look down in the action here or something like that? How well does it work for that? Well, let's flip this thing over. So as you can see, I'm kind of looking into the bottom of the firearm here. Here's where the chamber is, checking all it out, and you can certainly see the dirt and how dirty it is. And if we run it looking down the mag well here, you can kind of check out things, and of course that light really helps, but you can check out and inspect all types of springs and components and other things. So that was taking a look with this 22. Let's get the 9mm Walther out, and again, gonna be messing with the bore, so we want to do that and make sure that we are clear. So this being 3.9mm, what's going to happen if we, and rather small, what's going to happen if we run it down the bore of, say, this 9mm, which is considerably a larger bore. And you can see it does pretty well. You kind of got to move it around. It doesn't quite have the same effect as far as the angle, a viewing angle or whatever. Why? Because, well, it's a larger bore, so you kind of got to wiggle it around and look, but you can definitely inspect. You can see it does definitely got some dirt and wear on that BPQ. So if you're looking for a great addition to that gunsmithing workbench, I think that the Endosnake might just be the tool for you. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Till next time, don't forget to chain fire freedom.